Call the meeting to order at 6:30. I'll entertain the motion to approve the minutes from February 25th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of approving the minutes from the regular meeting of February 25th, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain.
One abstention. Motion passes. I'll entertain a motion to take the agenda out of order and move to Mr. Spencer from Wyndham Solid Waste.
So moved.
Second. Discussion? All those in favor of taking the agenda out of order and beginning with members of the public, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Mr. Spencer, welcome.
Thank you. So if you would just introduce yourselves, some of you are new, I think, right?
Relatively, probably since we've seen you.
Yeah.
I'm Will Bissonnette.
Rob Wright.
You're on.
Irving.
Yeah.
Irving Stoll.
I know her.
Oh, you go.
I would hope so.
Crystal Mansfield.
Stephen Frisk.
Well, thanks for giving me a chance to meet with you folks. I think what the reason that we kind of got this going is Irv, as you know, is active on our board, and we help towns meet all these requirements for the recycling law, Act 148. And I had inquired about food waste collection at the transfer station. And this is not in my letter, but you have to have some sort of drop off for food scraps there by law. And so because there is no commercial hauler coming up the valley this far, you're in a quandary, you know, like what do you do? So we did some research, and there is a way, and Irv, I think you brought some of these to the town earlier, of using a bag that people would buy, just like your page, you throw bags, and put food scraps in it.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to Peter at Triple T today, and they would be willing, if your employee takes a truck down, the packer truck down to the Triple T, wanted to put bags of organics on that truck, they would then just pick them out there,
Mm-hmm.
and you're done.
We had done that originally 2 years ago.
That's what I thought. That Craig, Craig
we
had
were
started
doing that. Yeah, we had gotten small bags, and we had been giving them away to residents. People weren't using them. We were also finding that they were trying to use them for trash.
And they were using them as page and throw bags, and they
Yeah.
were free.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we would be willing, my staff person, Athena Bradley, she's the only full-time person in our office. She does education and outreach, we call it. And she's willing, and I'm willing to come up a couple days when you're open. And if you start this program and
Sure.
just explain it to people and where is it going and why are we doing this. So we'll help you. I'll send you the price list for these bags. It'd really be no different than where you buy your page for throw bags now. You
If you had them at $130 a bag,
Yep.
$70 a case, right?
I can't tell you about how much these are a bag. They're a little more than that.
Oh, okay.
That thing that Will had, that's the thing you gave me and I gave to them.
Does it have the pricing on it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has it as
That's it. That's still good.
Okay,
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, it's-
I did check with them today.
same bag, right?
And there was a price list in there?
Yep.
Yeah, which was,
It's 70 a case for 54
okay.
to 130.
All right, so it's about,
130 bags.
yeah, all right, then that is it. I
Okay.
checked with them today, and she sent me a price list, and she said, it's the same that I gave you, but,
Okay.
and that lady is out of Massachusetts and represents that company.
Mhm.
I'm not promoting any particular bag. The reason that these have been suggested is they're stronger than most of the biodegradables you buy in the supermarket. and they're actually designed to go in a packer truck and get compressed, and then sort them out. Triple T does not want to go through that whole
Process, right?
So the idea would be that if you had a place for people to bring the bags during the week, some sort of dumpster or a locker and then when your employee, town highway employee gets ready to go down, Triple T puts those bags on the back end.
Yep.
Triple T has a 30-yard open top sitting right next to their tip floor where they would just throw them in. And it would make number one, if you just offer this and have it, you're compliant.
Right, yeah. We can't force anyone to use it.
Exactly, and I'm certainly not
But
suggesting.
we have to make it available.
And the thing is, you're not obligated to go through the trash and see if there's stuff in there.
There's
Well,
no policing of this.
They don't, I thought I had read that there was going to be some mechanism for, and I'm not sure how they would.
Well, they're spot checking at landfills and transfer stations.
Okay.
And mainly larger generators like your supermarkets and your big restaurants and.
See, that, they might spot check it Triple T, you know,
Right.
if you bring your load in and somebody from the state might spot check that and say, hey, wait a minute.
There's,
That
yeah,
bar is up here, it's not up there.
It's just
That's right.
the exact same way it is with recycling. It's a law, but people want to put a bottle in a $3 bag.
Right.
They can do it.
Right.
Same with food scraps. If you want to throw them away, you can do it. Technically, it's banned,
got it.
but not everyone's going to do it. So I think it's a fairly inexpensive and easy way for the town to come into compliance. Whitingham did get in a little bit of trouble because they were slow to get this started, and A&R found out about it and they sent them a letter. And I'm just we don't want you to get down that path. So
Right.
I think you're fine if you get this going, and we'll help you with some education. We'll print up flyers for you to hand out at the transfer station, just saying, hey, you can have recycled food waste. And what we found in towns that have this is that if given a choice, I'm not how much do you pay your throw bags?
We sell them for
We
$3.50.
sell them for $3.50.
Yeah, so someone can put food scraps and pizza boxes and kitty litter and all sorts of organics in this $1.30 bag, or buy a $3.50. And we find people, it's an easy decision. So I think you'll have people participate, just on the economics of it.
Yeah, my other big concern is some sort of vessel to keep it in until we run the truck down.
No, you need that, because
Yeah.
where you are.
Oh, yeah, no,
And
You know,
I just went out to the garage. You have,
Yeah.
I've been up there. You have plenty of space.
right.
But I was looking at some magazines, and you buy one of them 20-foot shipping containers, which can, keep
lock
it
up.
damn well sealed, the bear won't get into it, and, it's around $2,150, I think I see it advertised. But there may be something cheaper than
A
that.
used 20-footer, something like
Yeah.
that. I believe if you take a drive just up to Jamaica, they have a shipping container. They have TAM, the hauler, and they're picking up toters, wheeling carts. So they wheel the toters out during the day and then put them in the shipping container.
Oh, overnight.
Because they have had bear problems there, as you know.
Sure.
There's a path that comes right down to the compactor that the bears use. So anyways, I think that we can get you up to speed and we'll help you. So I don't know who your point person will be on this, but just give me a call and say, hey, we're getting going. And Deb Darby handles these. I just talked to her. She's out of North Shore area.
Oh, okay.
I forget where she is, but she comes up to Vermont. She's speaking. There's a composting conference April 7th in Randolph, and she'll be speaking there about this program. It's nationwide. They're doing this. It came out of Minnesota. So, yeah, you guys are the only transfer station in the district that uses what the state calls fast trash. You know, your own truck.
Yeah,
And you are at a licensed transfer station, so you're have an advantage, but some towns, it's just a, you know, they pull up to the highway garage, and it's not a regular thing. So it's a model the state likes.
Oh,
So do you, and then, since Triple T would be composting it, you can get the list of things they accept there. It comes to our compost site in Brattleboro.
right,
We take just about everything that's, you know, soiled paper and cardboard, and if people really go at it, they won't have as much trash.
yeah, yeah, every time.
So you'll be in good shape.
Yeah, just be garbage bags full of plastic bags.
Yeah, that's about it. But, you know, overall, your recycling program is going okay as far as you know, the bottles and cans and all that?
Seems to be.
Good. So you haven't had problems with contamination?
We haven't been fined yet.
Yeah,
Good.
we haven't been alerted to it.
Good,
so-
well, that's good, because it could be an issue.
Yeah, that was, I mean, that's my biggest concern with the
Yeah.
composting is that they
Yeah,
try
a
to
few
do
years
something
ago,
else.
we had trouble with people going in and taking stuff out of the containers, which is,
Sure, they want those nickels.
yeah.
Mhm.
But it was a liability also.
Yeah,
It is, you don't want people crawling in those.
No.
No.
We
absolutely
had,
not.
you know, when we were servicing these bins, it was an issue everywhere, especially the sites that didn't have, you know, they were just an unmanned,
Yeah,
like Brookline, they still have theirs out there. And Marlboro has it, they now moved it to the highway garage. Halifax, those are the only towns that aren't part of a transfer station that still have recycling bins. So,
One thing is, might have to wait till you tendon up a little bit on some of this,
mhm,
to keep an eye on it, and make sure that they're not filling the bag right up, you know, each week, and
mhm.
make sure it isn't,
bursting at the seams and.
Yeah,
yeah,
Most people are pretty good.
and then just not a lot of garbage, because if you get certain things like tin and all that stuff, then it screws up
yeah, it contaminates the whole thing.
contaminates the recycle,
The compost.
composted, yeah.
So we make a very nice compost. If you're ever down, Brattleboro want to see it, it's right there on Old Ferry Road. We sell compost, we have distributors. It's been a successful program. I was skeptical that it would work, but it's worked, so. I say it's the only thing that's recyclable that stays locally.
Yeah,
Because everything else, you don't even know where it goes or what it turns into.
no, that's true.
So the other thing is, and I mentioned it in the letter, is the recycling boxes you have, they're on loan
Mhm.
to the town, and Irv knows this, but we have a subcommittee that's looking at a way to permanently give those to the towns,
Oh,
so that you would have them.
mhm.
There's an issue in that some towns, the boxes they got were in not as good a shape as other towns, so
Yeah, and they change. It seems like
those
don't
are
always-
those are the
Really?
same three boxes.
Oh, okay.
We have an inventory, I know which numbers they are, I've got.
oh, okay,
And because Triple T services them, they're not going out to other,
yeah,
so yours are in pretty good shape.
Mhm.
You could get quite a few years out of them.
You see, some of them containers, like Wilmington, well, I guess, Tam picks them up, right?
Yeah,
And, does some other towns over there. Wilmington wound up with a box that went to pot, and they got blamed for it, and not even one that was loaned to them.
so Wilmington dropped the recycling at the downtown tennis court site, because it was just getting abused with trash, and so they still have up at the transfer station, the boxes. But anyway, you'll be hearing from the district, I expect, depending on what they vote, and our supervisor, your supervisor, will they give them to the towns outright? And I think that's what we want to do, just so,
simplify the whole
yeah,
process.
you know, what's the point? We don't want it back.
But we had a couple of them, when they first formed us, that didn't think they ought to be given to the towns and stuff, and I said,
Well, there's still some discussion, as you can imagine, there's towns that don't have any boxes, so what do we get out of it? And
but,
maybe we should auction them off and then split, they're not worth that much, you know?
Right,
but,
So,
just like I told them, I said, hey, we're one of the few towns that started the darn district and went into this stuff, and the rest of them got in at a small fee, but not like it cost the rest of us. Because when the district was started, we had to have a vote if we was gonna buy the landfill and all that stuff from the town of Brattleboro, because they bought it from the original contractor. And then we had to commingle all the votes and take them to Brattleboro and count them, and the towns all went along with it. I think it was 5 or 6 towns is all there was to start it.
Anybody else have any other questions?
Great update. Last year, there was some confusion on whether it was gonna continue as a free program or there was gonna be a charge. Moving forward, can you answer to that question?
I think it's something the board needs to discuss, what they wanna do, because, you mean in terms of can you bring your stuff to us at no charge?
As we did in the past.
Yes. I think it's fine, but we went through some tough budgetary times and everyone was looking at every penny. Things are better now, and I would like to, that's coming up,
For Saturday.
May.
Yeah.
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 We should discuss it at my board level, so we will do that probably at our April meeting. It's not a lot of material for the district to take, but what was happening, to be honest, there were some towns that were taking advantage of it and would stockpile all their own tires and everything, and then bring them out green up day.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Not that we're gonna point any fingers, but it did happen. So then it was like, well, that isn't fair, you know?
Yeah.
Because tires cost us a lot. They're like $3 each now to get rid of them for just a passenger tire. And we don't make any money on it. We pay for it. So, but I will take care of that and get back to you.
Thank you.
Carla. So she's been great to deal with. Thank you.
Good. Yeah,
So
she will
anyways-
likely be the lead on this.
Yeah, well, Kent was all right. You know. No, we did a lot with Kent when we started all this with the caretakers and everything. We had quite a few meetings up here in the state.
I imagine.
So I just wanted to take this opportunity to kind of go over the programs that Wyndham Solid Waste offers to the town. And, you know, every so often a town questions what do they get out of being in the district, especially after we stop hauling away the recyclables. And in the last few years, Dover and Guilford and Whitingham and Marlboro and Putney have all said, let's take a look at this. What do we get? So I think it's a good exercise, and I'm glad to help towns look at what their money gets them. We have 18 towns. One of them is Somerset, and they're not a voting member because there's like 7 people literally. But they have to be in a district, so they're on there. So, and each town has population vote. So for every 3,000 people, you get 1 vote. 16 towns have under 3,000. Just Brattleboro and Westminster are above that. But Brattleboro has 12,400, so they pick up 6 votes. So will remember when they voted to close the MRF, it was that weighted, because if Brattleboro hadn't had all those points, the MRF would probably still be open. Because most of the towns wanted it.
Right.
But that's another story. It wasn't an easy time. So anyways, your assessment to the district this year is at $8,108. I am proud to say that we have been able to bring those down each year through a combination of things, just our budgeting process, some new revenue sources. But this is almost 40% less than when we closed the MRF for the towns. And then I mentioned the solar revenue. This has been a huge deal on that closed landfill sitting there. We're now getting 120 grand a year. Plus we get 50% of the renewable energy credits. I'll get a check next week for 1/4 for one calendar quarter for $47,000. They're a commodity and they fluctuate, but right now the renewable energy credits or RECs are going up. So we're gonna probably have over $100,000 this year in just RECs. And on an annual budget of $1 million, we're looking at a couple $100,000 between the lease and that, so it's very significant. You guys do not sign up as an off-taker, but the district is, so we get reduced electrical charges at our site. You have, even though you have your own transfer station, you had about 28 people who bought stickers at our site last year. You know, I think they're primarily businesses, you know, some contractors and things that come in, because you got your site right up here. The recycling roll-up containers, I mentioned that, we're loaning them, and hopefully we'll be giving them. The household hazardous waste collection, that's when the towns take a look at why do they want to stay in a solid waste district, usually this comes out as the #1 financial reason, because the state says you have to do this, and they're very expensive. They've gotten much more expensive. Everything in recycling has gotten expensive. But Townsend, well, just last year, when we had it in Townsend, we had 17 of your residents use it, plus probably another 17 from other towns. And then in 2016, we had it in Townsend, we had 44 of your town residents. So we have, and then when we have them in Brattleboro in the fall, we usually get quite a few. So we track all this. But all the districts were complaining, the state required this, and there was no real funding to help. And they finally said, well, if you want to open a permanent site and not have to pay these contractors to come in and have an event, we'll allow that. So we applied for a grant, and it's like $9,000 to set up a permanent drop-off at our transfer station, so we won't have to have these events. And then it's open so many days a month, and it'll be during warm weather, well, May to November. So people will have an outlet for hazardous waste basically half the year. So that's where
interesting.
it should save money, but it depends on how many people use it. Townsend residents are very conscientious about that waste, I must say. Some towns aren't. We joked at Reedsboro, they must drink it up there. We never get people from Reedsboro coming. Then the schools, we've worked a lot with the schools. I just went over to the high school to look, but you know, helped set up composting and recycling, and done education. We did an inventory of the hazardous waste there. We also work with businesses, and this is all mandated by the state. A certain number of businesses in each town have to be contacted and offered assistance. This last year, Athena went to Harmonyville store and the Camporama and met with them. You know, she offers it, and they said, "Yeah, come on up and help us." And she would have been here tonight, but I told her we didn't need 2 people. Then we call a special event. We have containers that have 3 sorting stations that we offer at no charge to public and private events. So if you have any town events, and the one coming up will be the Grace Cottage Fair, and we'll be working with them. And we did the Valley Cares concert last year. And then there's a whole host of other things we do, working with businesses and promotion. Well, we just applied for a grant to help towns update their website content regarding recycling, because if you look at them, and you don't do this, but I do, there's just a huge range of terminology, and there's no consistency. People get confused. Is this recycle? Is this? So we're going to try to help the whole region kind of get on the same page. So those are the things that we're doing, and we be glad to you have other questions or ideas for the district, you know who can bring them down to us.
Sure do.
He'll be there
That's right.
Thursday night. Herb's very active, I must say, in that board,
Good.
which is great.
Any other questions?
No, I'm
No.
good.
All right. Bob, thank you very much for
You're
coming
very
back.
welcome. I'm
Appreciate
glad I
it.
had a chance to come
Thank
out
you.
and meet. Thank you, folks.
Yeah, that's great.
No problem. See you later.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks, Bob.
See you
Thanks,
later.
Bob.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right, where do we live? Let's go back up to additions and deletions. There's one deletion. The community hope and action request for the town common has been put off for at least another meeting. And then I have one addition, which is the listers form 4155 is the certificate of no appeal or suit pending for the grand list. So we just need to sign that, so we'll take that down in new business. Let's do the warrants.
Make a motion to check warrant number 1, payroll, in the amount of $10,866.02.
So moved.
Second? Anybody have a second? Crystal, you second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of paying payroll warrant number 1 in the amount of $10,866.02? I'm sorry, was there any discussion on that? Anybody have anything? Okay. $10,886.02. Sorry, $66. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 2, payroll tax, in the amount of $4,692.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor of paying check warrant number 2, the payroll taxes in the amount of $4,692, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 3, of the general fund, in the amount of $666,034.52.
Second.
This is the third quarter payment to the school for those playing at home. Any other further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying general fund warrant number 3 in the amount of $666,034.52 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 4, out of the general fund, in the amount of $7,963.97.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying general fund warrant number 4 in the amount of $7,963.97 signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 5, out of the general fund, the amount of $4,402.89.
Second.
Discussion?
Second.
Hearing none, all those in favor of paying check warrant or general fund warrant number 5 in the amount of $4,402.89 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 6, out of the highway fund, the amount of $9,147.04.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying highway warrant number 6 in the amount of $9,147.04 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 7, out of the equipment fund, in the amount of $1,086.74.
Second.
So moved. Second.
Discussion?
Can I just ask about the mailbox? There's a mailbox replacement on there?
Yeah, a mailbox was hit on Stevenson Curve, and we replaced it.
Thanks.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying check warrant number 7 out of the equipment fund in the amount of $1,086.74 signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay number 8 out of the highway fund, in the amount of $5,001.74.
So
Second.
this was one that was omitted from one of the other meetings, from 225.
The money was from last meeting. So
Right.
that had already been.
It had been
it's just-
approved.
it's just-
So all those in favor of paying, what was it, number 8?
Yep.
Check warrant number 8 out of highway fund in the amount of
$5,000.
$5,001.74, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I abstain.
Motion passes. Okay. Moving on to reports. Steve, what do you got?
We have one truck down, T3, last Thursday, broken axle. It also has some rear end issues, so that was hauled off to the dealership this morning. The truck is under warranty. I did get 3 quotes for hauling to the dealer, and of course we went with the cheapest one, which was Hunter Excavating. So it was delivered this morning, and I'll have an idea sometime tomorrow when we can expect to have that truck
Which
back.
truck is 3?
Is the 2015 International 7600.
Oh, okay.
Mud season has started.
Mhm.
7 roads have required attention so far. Small areas where the ice had broken through and ruts were getting deep, so we did spread some stone on 7 different roads, and that'll be an ongoing issue now as the weather continues to stay
Warms up.
warm, and some rain would help, but we'll deal with that one day at a time. And that's it.
That's it? Any other discussion on that? In your packets, you should have gotten a copy of counter money from the town clerk. And the treasurer's report I have here. Excuse me. In the sweep account is $1,441,071.84. And the checking account is an even 30,000. Correspondence. So in your boxes is an email that we got from Sue Westa at Wyndham Regional regarding economic and infrastructure development grant opportunities for infrastructure, telecommunications infrastructure, workforce, business, entrepreneurial and technology development, resources and open space conservation, tourism, recreation, and renewable and alternative energy. So for right now, I included the email, which has links, I believe, to their website that explains it a little more. It's nbrc.gov/news. Has the announcement, and so we can follow up on that at the next meeting. I want to give everybody a chance to read through everything. We do have to submit a letter of interest by the 31st of March.
That's a tight window.
It is a tight window. So take a look at that. We'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting to decide if we are interested. Take members of the public. Old business. We want you to have a list of town appointments. Going through the, Carly, do you want to just explain how the list is laid out?
The list I just did a copy and paste for 2021 from the current year, and it just kind of carries over, and we know a few of them are keeping their appointments or would like to keep their appointments, and it's up to the board to decide who they would like to appoint for the ones that we don't know. I have highlighted on which you can't see, and I can certainly reprint in color the ones that I believe that will need
Okay.
either recommendation or.
Right. So we do have a number of people that were listed on the agenda that we can appoint. So I would entertain a motion to appoint the following people to the following offices. Town agent, which was actually voted, it's an elected position. We are appointing Joe Winrich, who I discussed it after town meeting with him, because no one came forward for the position, and it's what he does for a living. So he didn't want to throw it out there and nominate himself, so we did it after. So for town, I'll entertain a motion to appoint Joe Winrich as town agent, Kathy Dugrenier to the library board, Andy Snelling to Wyndham Regional Commission, Sherwood Lake as emergency management coordinator, and Craig Hunt as the cell tower. For the cell tower.
Second.
Any discussion? All those? No, you got anything?
Yeah. You also got to appoint representatives Wyndham Solid Waste.
Yeah, you want to keep doing it?
I don't care. Because they got a meeting Thursday night.
Oh, if you're willing to do it.
I nominate Irv Stoll.
Second. Maybe
Okay.
we need to list
Um,
it.
Do you want to amend your motion to include Irv Stoll as Wyndham Solid Waste Management Representative?
Why, yes, I do.
And do you want to second that amendment?
Second?
Okay. All those in favor of appointing the aforementioned people to the aforementioned offices with the amendment of Irv Stoll for Wyndham Solid Waste, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I
Abstentions?
stay.
Motion passes. So Carla will have the list updated and available in town hall if people are interested in other offices. I think next meeting we can go through the kind of inspector of shingles, and if Carly, you could call everyone that's on the list and just get a yay or nay, and then hopefully we can knock out the list next meeting. Okay, new business. So we received from the listers, excuse me, Form 4155 for the year 2020, certificate of no appeal or suit pending for the grand list. It reads, we hereby certify that on this date, no earlier than the first Tuesday of February, following the lodging of the grand list, there are no appeals pending from the action of the listers, nor suits to recover taxes paid under protest. Under provisions of 32 VSA 4157, from this date on, when offered in evidence in any court in this state, this list shall be received as legal grand list, and its validity shall not be put in issue by any party to any action in any hearing or trial in any court. And it's dated today. It was signed by the listers, and then I will entertain a motion to sign Form 4155 for the grand list.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Where's the Kirkpatrick property fit in this?
I don't know, to be honest.
I mean, they're challenging that.
Yeah. Is it possible that that falls into the previous year?
I don't know. I don't have the paperwork with me.
We should ask them about that.
Yep.
Okay. Let's table this and talk to the listers and see how that is handled. I'd forgotten all I will get in touch with them tomorrow. Or Carla, if you could ask them tomorrow, just where that stands, if that has any impact on this document. We deleted that. I do not have any need for an executive session. Does anybody else have a need for an executive session? Okay. Next regular meeting is March 24th, Tuesday, 6:30 here. I will just mention that there's a lot of talk around the coronavirus, and there was a preparedness meeting this afternoon with our emergency management plus rescue and a number of other entities. Healthvermont.gov is a very reliable resource for actual information and facts. One of the gists of that meeting is don't believe what you read on Facebook. So I just wanted to
And wash your hands.
and wash your hands. Just want to put that out there for people's information.
Don't shake hands either.
Yep. Yep. If there's no other pending business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
What about that meeting that's gonna be in Montpelier here at the end of the month?
It's a week from Saturday, the select board training. Are you interested?
Yep.
Okay. Carla, can you set that up for Irv to come with us? I'm driving if you want to lift.
All right.
Okay. Great. So any other business to come before the board? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We will adjourn at 7:11. Thank you very much.
Thank you.